Hello viewers and welcome back to the Noobtastic Gamers channel. Every player of Antistasi has a wish to secure at least one of the airstrips so that they can have the airstrike option, and apart from that, it generally gives you a feeling of honor and pride that we own an airstrip and some jets, right? The airstrip near Abdera is relatively easier to capture, and that is the one which we are going to capture today. So let's get into the game itself. Alright, so there could be multiple ways of doing something right. If you attack the airbase directly, you don't stand a chance to take it, as you will not be able to stand against the reinforcements which the enemy will receive when you attack them. So the point is to weaken the enemy first and get stronger during the process until you are ready to capture and hold the airfield. And the enemy is so weak that either the reinforcements are not sent at all to defend the airbase, or they are small in number and you can counter them easily. The method that I'm going to tell you about is the one I found to be a little easier as compared to other ways of doing it. So follow along and I will tell you about the sequence in which you need to capture the outposts to reach closer to the airbase and weaken the enemy at the same time. At the start of the game, you may be deployed anywhere on the map depending on which version of Antistasi you are playing. I got deployed on the HQ marker shown on the map. Wherever you are deployed on the map, first of all try to capture the resource point encircled on the map. So you would like to move your HQ closer to the resource point so that you do not have to travel all the way up to the resources if you die during the capturing process. Please note that earlier on in the game you shall not engage in the skirmishes with the enemy. Try to do as many ammo truck stealing missions as possible to get financially stronger and independent in terms of good weapons at your disposal. When you feel confident that you can take and hold the resources, take them. After that, focus on the NATO outpost in the north. Relocate your HQ closer to the outpost so that you do not have to travel again and again when you die. Weaken that outpost and then capture it. Next, focus the NATO outpost on the northeast to this outpost and take it. After this, you have two options. You can either take the outpost to the southeast or move further south to capture Abdera. I skipped the outpost and I would recommend you the same at this point of time, because if you take it, the game will advance to war level 3 and the enemy will deploy more lethal weapons like tanks to counter you. So move to the location between the airbase and the Abdera city as shown on the map. Complete a city support mission and it shall fall to you. Now is the time to start the airbase mission, because you have taken out the outposts on the northern side and therefore the enemy will not be able to reinforce it from the northern side, and any reinforcements which may be sent would come from the south side. Now is the time to start the airbase mission. It will be done in 3 phases. In the first phase, you destroy the defenses at the airbase. In the second phase, you move the game to war level 3, as you will not be allowed to capture the airbase at war level 2. And in the third and final phase, you take the airbase. Phase 1 has been accomplished during the previous video. If you haven't seen the previous episode, you don't know about the operation conducted earlier to weaken the enemy at the airstrip. I would highly recommend that you watch it first, as this video is in continuation of that mission and you may not be able to fully understand why the airstrip in my mission is deserted while you have to deal with hail of enemy bullets when you even go to visit the airstrip. So pause this video right here and watch the previous video of this mission first. Link to the previous video is given on the screen above and also in the description below this video. Come back to this video after watching that one, because I will be waiting for you right here. But hey, listen, don't be gone for long, as I will get tired of waiting and I don't like waiting. See you around. Okay, so I am assuming now that you have watched the video 1, and as explained earlier, this will be done in 3 phases, and the first phase is being continued from the previous video onwards. So the first phase is to decimate the defenses of the airbase, and we would take our shiny new tank with us in this operation, and we will have some other troops as well, so that in case if we fall, there's someone to revive us. and we also take our HQ with us, because the Petros will die if he is left alone here.
Petros, join group. Ready.
Although we have almost destroyed the defenses at the airbase, as you might have seen in the previous video, but we still need to make sure that the airstrip is clear.
Ready.
And so we'll just go in and scout.
Waiting. Ready.
So here we are back at the airstrip, which has got some more gifts for us. As you may remember, it still has that tank, which we were not able to steal during the last episode because it had no fuel.
Standing by.
We take the Petros out, we build our HQ so that we are able to garage these vehicles. We garage this tank. So congratulations, you are now owner of 2 tanks instead of 1 only. We move our HQ once again. We keep the Petros with you because you don't want him to die. Any enemy unit patrolling this area or any stray enemy
Ready.
might kill him. He's very weak and we need to keep him protected. We just visit this side, so in case if someone is hiding in these bushes, we are able to take him out. In case if you are wondering why I am not trying to garage these jets, there's a reason to it, and I'll just show you in a moment. If we try to garage these jets, we will not be able to because we don't own the airstrip yet, and we cannot take the airstrip until we are at war level 3. And even if we build the HQ close to the plane, we are not able to garage it because we need to own the airstrip first. So this was just to demonstrate to you. You don't need to do this. I just wanted you to know that it's of no use to try to garage the plane
Board that vehicle.
when we don't own the airstrip. So we move our HQ once again, and since no one is shooting at us, we can assume that there's no one here. By the way, there's one more thing to note, that the infantry units don't always shoot at the tank because this is such an intelligent AI. They know that they cannot damage the tank through simple guns, so they try not to reveal their position, and so they don't shoot at the tank. But the moment you get out of the tank, you are vulnerable. Anyone who is hiding nearby will get out of his position and he will take you down. So be aware of it.
Standing by.
We build our HQ here. And in case if you are wondering why we came back to the base or a safe location, is because we want to save our progress. Remember, we now have 2 tanks instead of 1, so it would be wise to save our progress so that in case if we die in the further operation, we still have the tank. So we take the excess vehicles out of our garage and we sell them in order to make some space in our garage, because we will need to garage the jets now when we take the runway, which is not so far from now. And we save our progress once again. So the garage has more slots for the jets when the next time we load the game. We move the HQ once again. We bring out the tank. We take some of the units with us. as a support. Please note that you can man your tank with 9 units at a time. So I'm not taking 9, but
Get in that vehicle.
you can do that if you want. So now we are moving to phase 2, that is to take the game to war level 3, so we are allowed to capture the airstrip. So we need to attack the outpost encircled on the map in order to do that, which will take us to war level 3. Now as you can see, there's a roadblock on the way to the outpost, which is nothing for the tank. The tank will easily clear it. This would have been very difficult if we were on foot or even if we had hunter. Now you might notice that there's another hunter which was probably patrolling, but it decided not to engage the tank and it preferred to save its own life, which was very wise of it. So nothing can stand in the way of a tank because it's a mighty thing. But the enemy is not sending any counter to the tank, which is usually in the form of jets, because we are not at war level 3 at this point of time. So we can have all the fun with the tank that we can. We just drive around and let our gunner take care of the infantry. Look at them. They don't know what to do about the tank. All they are doing is running around and hiding. I don't blame them. Just move around a bit. Scout so that you are sure that no one will shoot at you when you get out of the tank. I know that there's a man still manning that machine gun, but I cannot shoot him while I am in the tank. You need to be aware of the fact that being in a tank does not make us invulnerable. Some of the enemy infantry carry anti-tank weapons with them, and they shoot at the side of the tank and at the back of the tank, and the tank becomes disabled. So that forces you to get out of the tank so that you can repair it. And the moment you get out, anyone hiding around gets out and tries to take you out. So there are still enemies at the beach. The tank machine gunner is taking care of them. Extra care is required before getting out to capture the flag. The fact that the outpost has still not fallen on its own is because there are still infantry units, enemy infantry units around. I usually get out of the tank to release the prisoners, but I don't want to take any chances at this point of time because this game is at a very crucial stage. We have decimated the defenses of the airbase in the first phase, which took a lot of time and effort, and I don't want that to be wasted. So please notice that the moment we capture the outpost, the game has gone to the war level 3 and the NATO aggression has also increased. Which means the enemy will now use more lethal force to counter us. So let's move to phase 3 and capture the airbase. This will not be very difficult now because in phase 1 we have already decimated the airbase defenses. Just to keep an eye out for any reinforcements that the enemy may send to defend the airbase. And as you might notice, the tank machine gunner is still shooting at someone, which means the enemy infantry units are still around. See, we cannot garage the plane. This was just to demonstrate to you. We cannot garage the jet until we have the airbase in our control. So don't attempt to garage the jets because it will put you to risk when you get out of the tank to try to garage the jets. So we take the airbase. It's pretty simple. You just hoist your own flag, right? Not very difficult, but to get to that point, to be able to hoist was a difficult part. And now we can garage the jet, and congratulations, you are now the owner of a combat support aircraft. Congratulations and good job done. We garage the second one as well because later we can send it to our pool and add to the airstrike points. We should keep one of them so that we can fly it. And this is a plane which in the previous video I said I don't want to put a hole in it because soon this would be ours, and here it is. It is ours now. And now we own not one, not two, but 3 jets and 2 tanks. So we garage the helicopters quickly so that we can sell them later. In the next video, we discuss how to take off A164 tank buster from this short airstrip, because this is a very short airstrip and it is almost impossible to take off an A164 tank buster because this jet is a very heavy combat air support jet. It is equipped with heavy bombs, so it needs a longer airstrip to take off and attain the speed of 250 kilometers per hour. And this short airstrip does not allow us to reach that speed before takeoff, so it's practically useless. But I will show you how to use this strip for takeoff. This concludes our mission, which was quite successful. We captured the airbase. We now have 2 tanks, a number of helicopters and 3 jets. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please like, share, subscribe, and mention in the comments if you have come across or used yourself any better way to capture the airbase. See you around.